Welcome back, Profit Takers. It's your favorite YouTuber. I hope you guys are having a great day. Um, I am, and I wanted to hop on here real quick and just kind of go over some charts, right? How about that? You guys ready to talk shop, right? Talk some charts. Friday was kind of like a bummer. It was a total bummer in the New York session, especially with the indices. Right now I'm looking at platinum. Uh, Let me open this up. So I'm going to be switching from two different um, MetaTraders here. Both, this is the futures one with the actual futures symbols. And you're going to notice the price is a little different. All right. Um, for example, with YM, which is the DJ, the Dow, um, we see the peak showed up on Wednesday, right? We had a peak low. Um, but when I was charting on the Forex side, guess where this peak was? Let me show you. This peak was on Thursday. Okay. So that's the main thing with Forex and futures. The price is different. But nonetheless, with those variations, we should still be able to get to the same end of the equation of where are we in the market. Okay. Now, this here, you can notice that I'm starting to put the week closed and breakout. I never really, really understood, okay, this whole week closing and breakout on how that will then apply to the new week that's coming. So as I'm learning this journey, whoa, yeah, I'm just going to share with y'all what I'm learning. Maybe you guys knew about it. I don't know. But I've always noticed, like, the closed and breakout. When I changed the PTAD to add the previous day counts here, because I was like, okay, every time this thing posts a new peak and we break the previous day high or low, we can see the 3 days of breakout traders much clearer. And then we can have a better understanding of where the market is going to reverse, right? Because that's really one of my favorite setups. And I always love it when I see the PTAD 33, because it will show literally 3 days of peak high or low, and then 3 days of previous day high or low. And that lets me know that, hey, we got a market that broke out and it failed, right? So I love to see that's like one of my favorite setups. Okay. So with the way the indicator works and how the market works in general, I mean, we were looking at, so for example, so this week closed in breakout, right? We're shorts are in. Okay, this was Friday, last Friday, shorts were in. Monday came. The lucky early birds were able to take this trade short, right? London, Asia. This was a great short for you all. We got the reversal in New York, but we had this pin here. I don't know what time that was. I can't tell with this one just yet. But nonetheless, it broke out, closed and broke out, right? We're still in breakout, right? So here comes Wednesday. It's an inside day. We're going, sideways, but we're definitely moving up. So, we didn't necessarily break any levels. So this day would have never counted, right? So if this was our peak low, this day doesn't count or confirm until the other side is broken. Okay. Nothing happens until they break the other side. So it's just, it's a neutral day, right? Again, we're still in breakout, right? So we are still, nothing's happened. Nothing's broken up to be longer. So then here comes Wednesday, right? And I remember this day because I was like, ooh, I love it when they put these lows in there like that. This is it. This is my setup, right? So again, if we were thinking we were going long because you had this inside day bar, right? The inside day bar here was tapped. So that most likely triggered, the long, long traders, right? Um, but because the way the market was shaping up, I knew this thing was short. It just took a while for it to break down because I remember sitting in this and I'm like, can you guys just hurry up? You know what I'm saying? Can we just go down? And then eventually this thing on the dashboard, it did change. I want to say it was a zero, right? Because initially it is a zero because it did hit the inside day high and then it tapped the low, right? So let me clear this. Let me go back to, let's go to the YM. So if we see YM on the actual futures, guys, you can see on Wednesday how it hit the high, right? We slightly triggered the longs there, as you can see, just slightly triggered it. But it definitely, basically, we broke through the inside high, the inside bars high, right? So we had that high there, the higher high. And then again, we had the same scenario here where we had the low inside. It was just beautiful. But as you can see, it pinned through the low. So that pinning through the low on Wednesday was basically, okay, we may have an opportunity here to go short again, right? But it didn't close and break out. It just triggered the low, right? Just enough to be like, okay, we could be either holding this level here or we're going to break out of it. And then obviously Thursday comes and you can already see the higher highs that are inside. So that's already building up for a long trade, and it never touched the previous day level. So it didn't break. So that was just holding that low there, and it's just pulling back here. So it was beautiful long trade. Okay. So we get back to the high and of course nothing happens. It looks like it closed in breakout. I mean, let me see if I can make it big. It looks like it closed in breakout a little bit. I'm going to delete all that. I mean, it closed right at the level, right? Closed right at the level. So I was just like, well, on Friday, if it breaks through, right, then obviously we're going long. But if it continues to get resistance up here and then they put this low, so I was like, y'all put this low in here. Okay, I was like, okay, what are y'all doing, right? And begin to proceed to do nothing, right? So those of you who may have taken a scalp this, it was very difficult to trade this on Friday. I was just like, oh, I mean, the little bit I did get wasn't even worth the time that I spent, waiting for this thing to do something, right? So at this point right now, I'm just like, okay, we're just going to wait, because right now this thing is still in breakout, kind of, right? We're still here. I need to see, okay, come Monday, we might have a pretty big day. If this thing continues to hold this level, guys, we may have a day where we're shorting, right? Or if it breaks it finally, then we're going to go long, but we're just not going to know until that day to see if this entire breakout, right, is going to fail, or if it's going to finally give in, and then we have shorts in the market, right? And if it fails, obviously we're going long. So we won't know that until Monday. All right. So with platinum, same thing. Platinum on Friday, it did close in breakout. Shorts are in the building. And then we noticed it was still in breakout on Monday. And then Tuesday was an inside day. We don't count that day for anything. And then we see that we broke higher on Wednesday, right? We broke the inside bar. We went higher. And then it fell for my session, right? So this is technically, this is one of the things that that was important for me to see, right? That we have a breakout now. So we got one breakout here. We got our second breakout here. We had another high. We broke through that high. And then Friday came, we had our third break, and you can see it broke right at the, right in the earlier in the session. And then it continued to, this is order flow when it does this. I hate these type of moves, guys. I love it when they just, they just go down, like straight down. When they start doing this stuff right here, it's just a hot mess. It's really difficult to trade, even though it's short, right? So, and look at where it stopped. Just like literally it broke that area up there. You're able to short this for those of you who probably did. But it didn't, again, it did not hit the low at all. So in order for this to be true when Monday gets here, this will definitely need to break the low. Okay. Right. And then continue to say, yeah, we're still in breakout. Right. That's really what we're looking for it to do that. Or if it doesn't do that, obviously, it perhaps get support here, and then, we're going the other way. So that's how you're going to read these markets, because that's just what we're looking for, right? It needs to do one of the two things: either break the low to make this a valid peak high once it breaks that low, or maybe it does break the low and then it goes back up, right? And then you'll notice the PTAD change. Now that's what it's going to do. It's going to change in real time. Most of the time, it's just going to happen depending on, especially if the market is pretty volatile. If it is and it's moving, then it will change, right? So don't get hung up on, oh, we're going short, until we have this break the other side, which will need to be the previous day level. It needs to break that in order for this to be true. And then, of course, it can still fail, okay? So yeah, that's platinum. And if we look at, I also marked up the Russell, right? It was also giving us the same vibe as, the DJ, because they're pretty similar. You can see we closed in breakout on Friday, all right? Put in a low on Monday. We closed in breakout. Oh, I forgot to put my little green thing right there. I like to do that because it helps me with the visuals. Right there. And then we were inside on Tuesday. Here's our levels. And then we broke the inside bar high, and then it fell. So put in a higher high there. And again, just like the Dow, it pinned through the low, right? So this would have showed that this was like a zero peak formation high, right? Because it broke through. But then on Thursday, right? Because again, we're still in breakout, right? We're still, expecting to short this market, but it's failing, right? It's still, it's not breaking out all the way and continuing to expand the range. So we come in here on Thursday, we see the higher highs. It pinned, it broke through that level, it went back inside. So when it does that, it's usually a clue that it's going to go sideways. And this was an easy breezy trade right off of the the close price, to go back to the high of the week, which is the open range high, which is the yellow line here. And that was it for that. So then Friday comes, the earlier session was able to take this, scalp. It was just a scalping day, guys. Was able to scalp that up there, and London was able to short it from the high, because remember we had this high from Wednesday, and then we had another high. So now we have equal highs, guys, right? And it continued to break down underneath the previous day level and the closing price. So you're pretty safe to go short. And so when this was doing that and the Dow was doing nothing, you know what I mean? It's just like, okay, guys, come on. So anyway, just like the Dow, again, it did the same thing. We put in a low here. So I don't know, guys, what's going to happen. We're still at the high here. Who knows what's going to, if it's going to, when Monday comes, if it's going to come back, sideways and then do a pump back to this level and then break down, right? Because if so, then this will be the 3 hits to the high, which is another favorite setup of mine whenever we do see that. And then it will validate that the breakout is it's coming. It just took the whole week to get here. Okay. So, that's what I'm thinking here. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm thinking this is what's going to, at least, we got a plan, right? So this is about as far as I can go with this theory on how I'm putting all this together with the way price is responding. But I don't know about you, but I've seen this a lot. Okay. I have seen this way too many times for me not to be on the lookout to see what's going to happen if this is going to break down, right? Or if it's going to break up, right? So this is going to be a very important level, which when the week opens, this is now going to be a previous week high. So this is going to be an area that we're going to be looking at. Okay. All right. So is that all I have for now? Let me go back to the other one. I do believe gold. Yeah, I marked up gold too. Because gold, the way I was looking at this, this to me this didn't close and break out until Monday. Okay, Friday we broke through. We had a peak high formation and a peak high and a peak low formation, and then we close inside. Which when it closes inside, it always going to go sideways. It's going to pump up and then come back down. I love it. Right. I'm loving that I know this now. You know what I'm saying? I love it. And so we just take that line and, this was a session where you were, the London session was just loving gold. Okay. Gold is usually a good player, right? But for nonetheless, I mean, huge move there on a Monday. Although this was an inside, well, we didn't know it was going to be inside day until it finished, but I remember this day on Tuesday, I saw this thing. When they put this low in place, guys, oh my God, you're just like salivating. Okay. It's like, thank you. You gave me an easy trade, right? And this trade came pretty early. If you was not awake, you missed it. So again, this was an inside day. They didn't touch any of the levels. I was really thinking that, New York was going to also continue to push this thing down some more, but it didn't. Right. But anyway, guess what? We're in breakout. All right. We are in breakout. And let me put this back here. I didn't mean to take it all out. And then, that was too high. But we had a double inside day. So, double inside day. There's another thing I forgot to add. When we had this high, put the higher high in place, we know that is a signal for a dump and pump, right? If you watch Stacy's videos, then, this is where I'm learning a lot of this stuff, right? Putting it all together because it's just like, first of all, you're trying to piece things together and you're like, okay, I like to know why the things are happening, okay? Not just looking at these things and trying to figure out where we're going. No, I want to know why. I'm like, okay, if we have a high here on this inside here, then, this is definitely a clue for a dump and pump. Okay. And it did happen. So this inside day, they triggered the inside day high here. And again, this was a great trade, closed in breakout. So now we're long. Okay. Now we're long. And now we can see that, the next day we're expecting it. We don't really know what to expect. It's in breakout. It's closed in breakout. So all that means to me is if this thing fails, right? Meaning it comes here, it gets to this level and it just starts to break down, because to me it looked like it. And the reason why it was looking like it was breaking down is because this looked like, the half of Batman, right? This definitely looked like a half of Batman pattern to me, but it didn't follow through on Friday. Again, this was like, Friday was a horrible day. It's like the market makers were taking a break or something. I don't know. It was like, okay, you guys been producing beautiful trades like these last few Fridays, and then all of a sudden, is it because school is coming back? I mean, they're taking a break. I don't know. Anyway, so we're still in breakout though. So come Monday again, they could break out actually, right? And then it could fail and then finally come down, right? So, you know, definitely the previous day level will be key to see if we're going to break down or are we going to continue to go up and come back to this level and then break down. You know, I don't know. Or maybe it's just going to reset and keep going. But that's definitely going to be a level I'm going to be looking at, and we'll be watching how price is going to be responding as well. Okay. All right, guys, that is it for now. We will see you in the next one. Ciao.